Well, it sure sounds like using a retirement account is going to be the best way to get into cryptocurrency if I'm buying it to diversify my portfolio or to invest in it long term. How do I do it? How do I get started? And what does it take?
So, how do you buy cryptos with a retirement account? It's actually pretty simple. Um, there are generally, obviously the self-directed IRA and the 401k are really the two vehicles people use, IRAs and 401ks, to buy cryptos. Those are the two most popular, obviously, retirement vehicles. So let's start with the self-directed IRA. With the self-directed IRA, there's really two types of self-directed IRAs. Number one, there's a custodian-controlled self-directed IRA, where the custodian, let's say IRA Financial Trust, is the party that will make the investment. So you have to go to IRA Financial Trust and say, please buy property A, and they will sign all the closing documents, and they will send the money to the seller. And the title of the property would be IRA Financial Trust Company, custodian for the Adam Bergman IRA. And that works great in real estate, or if you're doing private equity or hedge funds or hard money loans, works really well. But if you're using a full service custodian to buy cryptos, not so well. Why? Because as I mentioned, the beauty of cryptos is decentralization. So you want to have control over your cryptos. And as we talked about earlier, when it comes to cryptos, you have a public key, which, think about the public key as like your house. You have a Bitcoin address, let's say, which is let's say the nugget of gold inside your house, and you have your private key, which is the key to your house, which only you can get into that house to take the gold. So if you are having a custodian purchase your cryptos, in most cases you're giving up that private key. And if you read anything online, the first thing you will read is do not give anyone your private key. That's like giving someone your ATM password or your keys to your house. You would never do that. So why would you give someone your private key? As a trust company owner, I can tell you, I don't want your private key. I don't want that liability. I don't want, God forbid, I get hacked by someone and someone takes all the private keys and steals all your money. I don't want that. I want my clients to be safe. So I don't think the custodian controlled approach works really well for cryptos. I wish it did, because it would probably reduce some costs, but it just doesn't, because the whole nature of cryptocurrency is that you have control. Just like you can go on Fidelity and buy and sell mutual funds or stocks in a self-directed IRA. Same with cryptos. Cryptos is a decentralized digital asset where you want the power to be able to purchase, sell, or exchange it anytime you want. These are 24-hour markets. And most of all, because of the private key concept, you need to hold that private key. You can't give it up to someone. So we use what's called a checkbook control, or we call it a wallet control IRA. And through the wallet control IRA, really all that's happening is a special purpose LLC is set up. So I'll break it down in steps just to explain why an LLC is used. So step one, you would set up an IRA account at a trust company, let's say IRA Financial Trust Company. Step two, you'd roll your retirement money, let's say $50,000 from Charles Schwab to IRA Financial Trust. Step three, you'll set up an LLC, and you can set up in any state. We'll help you do that. You'll then open a bank account for the LLC, call it anything you want. You'll then provide step four, the bank account info to the trust company. Step five, they'll wire the 50K from the trust company to the LLC. You'll have an articles, you have a tax ID number, so you can open the bank account, and you'll get an operating agreement that shows the IRA is the owner of the LLC, and that's called a special purpose entity. In most cases, if the LLC is owned by one IRA, it's a disregarded entity for tax purposes. So it's very clean. There's no federal tax return due, and from a tax standpoint, the IRA is the owner. But you still get limited liability protection if you're interested in it, although in crypto is not super important. And then from there, use the manager of the LLC. Step six, you'll go open let's say a Coinbase or Gemini account at an exchange. You'll open the exchange, like Gemini and Coinbase, you can each open institutional accounts in the name of the LLC. With Coinbase, it's called a GDAX. And Gemini, you can ask for an institutional account. There's paperwork to be completed. You'll then link it to your bank account, your LLC bank account, not your personal, your LLC bank account. And then you'll be able to move that 50K into, let's say, Coinbase. And then from there, you decide what you want to buy, whether it's a couple Bitcoins, Ethereum, Litecoin. And these exchanges, generally, they only let you buy 3-4 coins. So if you are looking to buy some of the smaller coins, what you can do is then go from Coinbase. Let's say you buy some Bitcoins, then you can put it on a wallet, and then from there you can exchange it for Ripple or Dash Dash or other Tron or other coins at different exchanges. So there's ways you can get in through Coinbase, get the US dollars into Coinbase. Coinbase, you buy the cryptos, and then from there, you can move it to a wallet, and then from there you can exchange it for other coins on other markets. Or if you don't want to go through Coinbase or Gemini, you can go directly to some of the other exchanges that'll have more of a selection of coins. Although, again, Gemini and Coinbase are just they're just more well recognized. So some people feel more secure with them because there has been in the past, like Mt. Gox was an exchange and it went bankrupt, lost $50 million, people's cryptos. So people want to feel secure. These seem to be the bigger exchanges, but I know a lot of people that use other exchanges as well. And that's the beauty of self-directed retirement investments. It's your money. So I don't want to tell you how to invest your money. All I'm going to tell you is these are the things you cannot do as per the IRS tax code. Otherwise, you can do it. It's not for me to say what you can and cannot do. So as long as the IRS allows you to do it, you can decide if you want to buy real estate or cryptos or tax liens. But again, the beauty of cryptos is, I think from a tax standpoint, clearly, is you don't pay tax. So remember we talked about short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains, basis, holding periods, gains. Is it short-term? Is it long-term? Netting. With retirement account, you don't care. You don't even have to worry about holding periods or basis or gain because there's no tax. Never, no tax. You will pay tax if it's a pre-tax IRA when you take it out. If it's before 59.5, 10% penalty and income tax. Over 59.5, income tax. And if you have a Roth, you hopefully are going to keep it in the Roth till 59.5, and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, and you're never going to pay tax. So you don't really care about holding periods or basis or short-term, long-term capital gains because you're never paying tax. And that's the beauty of cryptos, because we've seen the growth in cryptos, and I have clients with huge gains, huge over the last few years. And the beauty of this is no tax. So if they owned it personally, they may have, who knows, $300,000-$400,000 in taxes that they'd have to come up with. So that's the trade-off. That's why people like using retirement money to buy cryptos. They also like it, honestly, as a way to diversify their retirement portfolio. I have a lot. Again, I'm not an investment advisor, so diversification, that's something you got to figure out with your advisor or with your tax professionals or with yourself.
So it sounds like using a retirement account is the way to do it. I mean, it's no different than any other type of investing. If you want to maximize your benefits and you want to build wealth faster, a retirement account is the way to go. So, it's clear as day that a retirement account is the best way to invest in cryptocurrency if you're going to buy and hold, if you're in it for the long term, if you're diversifying your portfolio.